Well, welcome back for game 2 of our softball doubleheader today. If I can get my microphone cords untangled. Taylor Flory, sophomore right-hander on the mound for the Patriots. She's 0-1. She took the game 1 loss yesterday at Mount Olive. Flory is a transfer from Division I Eastern Illinois University, where she pitched last year. Facing Abigail Outlaw, the leadoff batter for Converse here in game number 2. Outlaw was 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored in the opener today. The Patriots won 8-5. First pitch of game number 1 was 4:01. It's 51 degrees, although it seems a lot colder in the shade. Winds out of the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour. And Flory and Outlaw are now full count here to lead off this one, and swung on and missed. So Flory starts game number 2 for your Patriots with a strikeout. Patriot defense exactly the same as it was for game number 1. Smith in left, Carrickson in center, Schmidt in right, Smallwood at third, Matzel at short, Patterson at second, May at first, Harkins behind the plate. And of course, instead of Rachel Davis, it's now Taylor Flory in the circle for FMU. Ellie Stout stands in, left fielder for Converse. Stout was 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI in game number 1. Stout, a freshman from Hendersonville, North Carolina, a product of Hendersonville High School. Grounded outside of May at first. She does get a glove on the ball. It ricochets to Patterson, who completes the 3-4-3 put out at first base. Allison Plafkin playing first base in game number 2. She was the Valkyries' third baseman in the opener. She went 3 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI in game number 1. Hit the ball hard 3 times. Actually hit it hard 4 times. The final time was a comebacker to the mound that Rachel Davis made a nice snag on. Floria pitched all 6 innings yesterday in the loss at Mount Olive, surrendered 9 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, struck out 5 and walked 1. That in her first outing as a Patriot. With their game 1 win, Francis Marion enters this contest 2-1, while the Valkyries have dropped to 1-2. Greg Craps moves from the bases to behind home plate to call balls and strikes, and Kenny McKnight is now umpiring on the bases. That's ball 4, so Plafkin draws a 2-out walk.
Now batting number 8, Brooklyn McElrath.
And that will bring Brooklyn McElrath to the plate, junior shortstop. McElrath 1 for 3 with an RBI in the opener today. McElrath, a junior from Woodruff, South Carolina, and a product of Woodruff High School. Swung on a miss, but the ball was in the dirt. And so Plafkin will advance on the wild pitch. And 2-1 to McElrath. Deuce is wild now. 2 outs, 2-2 count to McElrath, the shortstop, with Plafkin, the runner, at second base. Swung on and missed. And Flory records a pair of strikeouts in the top of the first inning. We played half an inning. Your Patriots coming to bat. No score. This is the Patriot Sports Network. Ashton Patterson Ashton Patterson leads off the Patriot first inning. Patterson, senior second baseman. Now batting .222 on the season. 0 for 2 with a walk in game number 1 today. She was also hit by pitch. So her on-base percentage is .417. I want to thank you for joining us again for softball doubleheader today. I'm Michael Hawkins, the Associate Athletic Director for Communication Services here at FMU. Taylor McMillan, junior here at Francis Marion, manning the camera for the Media Center staff today. Converse defense, slightly different than game number 1. Stout in left, Abigail Outlaw in center. Gomez in right, that's a change. Julianne Outlaw is now behind the plate. Patterson grounds to third. The new third baseman, McKinney, throws across to the new first baseman, Plafkin. They just swapped positions here for game number 2. And Patterson is retired.
Now batting number 14, Katie Smith.
So it's McKinney at third, McElrath at short, Roper now at second base, Plafkin at first, Owens in the circle, and Julianne Outlaw behind home plate. Katie Smith stands in for your Patriots, freshman left fielder. Smith 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI in game number 1. Her season average now stands at .500. And she grounds up through the right side for a base hit. The Patriots have their first base runner.
Stepping to the plate, number 7, Sarah Harkins.
So Smith now 5 for 9 on the young season. The freshman making an immediate impact here for the Patriots. That'll bring up catcher Sarah Harkins. Harkins 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored and an RBI in game number 1 today. Her season average now stands at .455. On base percentage is .500. And as I mentioned before, she has now reached base safely in 23 straight games dating back to last season, looking to make it 24 here in the second game of the Twin Bell. Hits that on a line to right field. That's going to be over the head of Gomez. It'll roll to the wall. Smith rounds second. Harkins nearly passed her, had to wait for her. So Harkins ends up on second with the line drive double. And Smith is on third. So the Patriots have something going here in the bottom of the first inning. Lauren Smallwood, the freshman third baseman, stands in. Smallwood 1 for 3 with 3 RBIs in game number 1. Smallwood leads the Patriots with 4 RBIs for the season. Reagan Owens, the pitcher, having trouble, I think, with the sun getting the signs from Juliana Outlaw, the catcher. Owens, 5'10 sophomore from Roanoke, Virginia, and a graduate of Salem High School. Led up pitch finds the outside corner for called strike 1. Patriot runners on second and third, one out here in the bottom of the first inning. So Owens credited with an automatic ball for taking too long to pitch that time. Again, looks like she's battling the sun and trying to find the signs from the catcher Outlaw. The shadows from the grandstand are right in front of the pitching circle right now. Hit hard to second, stabbed. They'll go to first for the one out. But Katie Smith will score, so an RBI for Smallwood, and FMU leads 1-0. So Smallwood with a productive out, records her 5th RBI of the young season. Addie May will now stand in. May, the first baseman, 1 for 2 with a run scored in the opener today. Her season average now at .333. Does have an RBI, on-base percentage of .455. Harkins did reach, of course, with her double. That means now 24 straight games that she's safely reached base, dating back to last season. Line drive snagged by the shortstop for the third out. But the Patriots played a run. We played one full inning. Francis Marion leads Converse in game number 2. This is the Patriots Sports Network. Grace McKinney, third baseman, leads off the second inning for Converse College. McKinney again played first base in the opener, went 0 for 3. Did walk one time, so she was on base once. 2-0 from Flory. Grounded foul. Count now to McKinney is 3-1. And McKinney draws a leadoff walk here in the Valkyries' second inning.
Now batting for the Valkyries, number 25, Maria, loose.
Maria Luce, the DP here for game number 2, stands in for Converse. Luce pinch hit in game number 1 and was 0 for 1. Luce, 5'5" freshman from Cleveland, Georgia, and West Forsyth High School, bats from the left side. That one lined into the stands. I believe Kendall Danforth from the Baptist Student Union almost made a nice barehanded catch on that one. Slow roller to Patterson at second, gobbled up for out number 1. McKinney moves over to second on the play.
Now batting, number 40, Julianne Outlaw.
Julianne Outlaw stands in. She did not appear in game number 1 today. 5'5" freshman from Camden, South Carolina, and North Central High School. And I feel like I'm going out on a limb to saying the younger sister of Abigail, the Valkyries center fielder, since they're both from Camden and the same high school. In the dirt, but a nice stop by Harkins keeps McKinney at second base. Count now 2-0. Outlaw with the green light on 3-0 fouls that one back to the screen. The 3-1 pitch from Flory. High, goes to the backstop. So McKinney will take third on the wild pitch. Outlaw down to first on the base on balls. Valkyries have runners on the corners now with only 1 out. That will bring to the plate Mariah Gomez, right fielder. Gomez, a 5'4" senior from Boiling Springs, South Carolina, and Boiling Springs High School. Mariah did not play in game number 1 today. That's inside, hits her right in the thigh, and that will load the bases. She squared around to bunt, and the ball came in on her. And the Valkyries have the bases loaded with only 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning. Second baseman Bell Roper will now bat for the Valkyries. Roper did not play in game number 1. She's a 5'6" freshman from Pickens, South Carolina. Went to Pickens High School. She was a late addition into the Valkyries lineup here for game number 2, replacing Kayla Roca. Fouls that one off the fist over by the Patriot dugout, and Florence ahead in the count 0-1. Leadoff batter Abigail Outlaw is in the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss. And Flory could certainly use the strikeout in this situation. Bases loaded, 1 out. Reminder, the Francis Marion women's basketball team will be in action tomorrow night, Monday, 5:30 in the Smith University Center as the Patriots entertain USC Aiken. That's a makeup of an earlier postponement. So it's just the women's game, Monday at 5:30, Francis Marion hosting USC Aiken. Roper holds up on that one, does not go, according to base umpire Kenny McKnight. Count now even at 2-2. Swing and a miss. Flory gets her strikeout. Bases remain loaded, but now they're 2 outs. Chance to possibly get out of the inning without any damage.
Now batting for the Valkyries, number 7, Abigail Outlaw.
Well, Abigail Outlaw stands in. She was the strikeout victim in the 1st inning. Both the Francis Marion men's and women's soccer teams will be on the road tomorrow night. As remember, spring sports are now hosting fall sports. Seemingly every Francis Marion team will be in action next Saturday. Women's tennis will host Erskine at 1 o'clock in the Kasab courts. Both basketball teams will host Lander at 1:30 and 3:30. Softball team will host Lenore Ryan at 2 o'clock here in the FMU softball stadium. And the baseball team will open its season against Georgia College at 4 o'clock at Cornell Field at Sparrow Stadium. Nice stop by Harkins, but the count now 3-0. Nowhere for Flory to put Abigail Outlaw. Harkins and Flory with the conversation in the circle. The 3-0. Called strike 1. Called strike 2. Flory has battled back. Count now full. Bases loaded, 2 outs. So the runners will be leaving at their earliest convenience. Grounded back to Flory in the circle, makes the play and throws to first to retire Outlaw. So the Patriots escape, stranding 3 base runners. We head to the bottom of the second. Francis Marion 1, Converse nothing. This is the Patriots Sports Network. Shortstop Megan Matza will lead off the Patriot second inning. Matzel 0 for 4 in game number 1 today. The Indian Trail, North Carolina native. He is a graduate of Porter Ridge High School. Matzel batted .291 as a freshman, started all 27 games at shortstop, scored 17 runs, drove in 18, an on-base percentage of .374. Lines that one off the pitcher's glove to the second baseman, who completes the 1-4-3 put out. And Rachel Davis, Danielle Carrickson.
Now batting number 17, Danielle Carrickson.
Carrickson grounds out to and Davis pops out to first base to end the uneventful bottom of the second. We head to the top of the third. Francis Marion leads Converse 1-0. Left fielder Ellie Stout will lead off the Converse second inning. She takes strike one from Flory. Deep short, Matzel with the long throw, not in time, base hit for Stout. Matzel with the nice play in deep 5.5 hole, but unable to nab the runner at first base.
Now batting number 15, Allison Plotkin.
Valkyries have their first hit of game number 2. That'll bring to the plate the first baseman, Allison Plotkin. Plotkin walked first inning. Line to left, that's a base hit, gets down in front of Smith. Comes up quickly with the throw, which is wide of second, but Addie May backs up the play and holds the runners. So the Valkyries have runners on first and second now with nobody out here in the top of the third inning.
Now batting number 8, Brooklyn McElrath.
The shortstop, Brooklyn McElrath, will bat. McElrath struck out in the first inning, 0 for 1. Flory quickly ahead, 0-2. Grounded to Matzel at short, goes to third for the force and the lead runner. Nice play by Megan.
Now batting number 10, Grace McKinney.
Grace McKinney now playing third base. Stands in for the Valkyries. McKinney walked in the second inning, got all the way around to third where she was stranded. It's grounded to Patterson at second. She'll go to the easy one to first, so now there are 2 outs and runners on second and third. As both McElrath and Plafkin advance.
Now batting number 25, Maria Luce.
That will leave it up to Maria Luce, the Valkyries DP here in game number 2. Luce grounded out back in the second inning. She's 0 for 1. That's here now with 2 outs and a pair of runners in scoring position. So Valkyries trail 1-0 here in the top of the third. Flory quickly ahead of Luce. No balls and 2 strikes. Shadows all over the infield now. Third base is back in the sunlight. Second base in the sunlight. But just about everything else is in the shadows. Sun could pose a problem for anybody in right field trying to make a play. And the wind has just about died all the way down, which is a good thing because it's cold enough. Ground ball back up the middle, base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes the second runner. The throw from Carrickson, not in time, cut off. And the Valkyries lead 2-1. So Maria Luce with the clutch 2-out, 2-run RBI single. See if Coach Jen George has to tell Julianne Outlaw as she bats now with 2 outs and Maria Luce, the runner at first base. Outlaw walked in her first appearance of game number 2. Count now even, 1-1. Grounded to Patterson at second and goes to first for out number 3. But the Valkyries pick up a couple of runs. Converse now leads your Patriots 2-1. We head to the bottom of the third inning. This is the Patriots Sports Network. Hannah Schmidt leads off the Patriot third inning. Schmidt batting for the first time here in game number 2. 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI in the opener this afternoon that the Patriots won 8-5. Coming from behind after trailing 5-2 by scoring 6 unanswered runs. Rachel Davis got the win in the circle. Schmidt grounds to third. McKinney bobbles, the throw late. And she will reach on the fielding air by the third baseman. So the Patriot leadoff batter is on.
Plate number 15, Ashton Patterson.
Ashton Patterson now bats as the Patriot lineup flips back to the top. Patterson a ground out in the first inning. Looks to bunt. To third base, the throw. Not in time, is going to go for a base hit. So she was bunting for a sacrifice, but she'll end up with a bunt single.
Now batting number 14, Katie Smith.
Schmidt advances to second on the play, and the Patriots have a pair of runners on, nobody out here in the bottom of the third as they look to strike right back after Converse has taken a lead. Katie Smith stands in, the freshman left fielder. She looks to bunt, takes outside ball 1. Schmidt singled back in the first inning. And we mentioned Smith now 5 for 9 on the young season. Speedy outfielder from Greenwood, South Carolina. And she takes outside. From Reagan Owens. Count now 2-0. She does bunt, it hugs the line, it's going to stay on the line, base hit. Smart play, it was a good bunt. The smart play defensively was to let it roll foul. It had enough English on it to stay right on the line where it died. So back-to-back bunt base hits have loaded the bases for the Patriots. And that brings up the dangerous Sarah Harkins. Harkins had at least one grand slam that I can remember last season as a freshman. Harkins backs now with nobody out. And the base is empty, or excuse me, the base is loaded. And the Converse infield in, which makes it even more inviting for the Patriot catcher. Harkins again led the conference in RBIs last year as a freshman. Had 34 runs batted in only 27 games. Patriots trailing here 2-1, but they've got the bases loaded and nobody out. Just misses outside, count now 2-1. Big hole in right center field. as the center fielder Outlaw is shaded over toward left, and Gomez in right is in straightaway right field. And Owens is pitching Harkins outside. If she could somehow take it that way, it would at least be a bases clearing triple. And she could run for days if it's hitting that area. The 3-run from Owens. Outside, ball 4. Patriots have tied it at 2-2 on the bases loaded walk by Harkins.
Now batting number 20, Lawrence Smallwood.
So Lauren Smallwood will stand in now. Smallwood, the Patriot RBI leader on the young season. Had a ground out RBI in the first inning of this game. Hits that to short. McElrath will play home to Outlaw for the force play, and the bases remain loaded, but now there's 1 out. Nice play by McElrath in the drawn-in infield that time.
Stepping to the plate for the Patriots, number 30, Addie May.
So Addie May will stand in. She lined out the shortstop in her first trip to the plate in game number 2. Again grounded to McElrath. She'll again repeat the same play home to Outlaw, who makes the out, but Addie May beats the throw to first base for the potential double play. So again, now the base is loaded, but 2 outs.
Now batting number 3, Megan Matzel.
So the drawn-in infield aids the Valkyries to get 2 outs at the plate. Now they can back up with 2 outs. As Megan Matzel bats. Matzel grounded out in the second inning. Matzel now ahead in the count, 2-1. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. Score tied, 2-2. Patriots shortstop lifts that one down the right field line, just foul. Foot foul. Could have been 2 runs on that if it had been fair. As it is, count now 2-2. That one is fouled off her foot. Grounded back to the pitcher. Owens makes the play, throws to first, and the Patriots are retired. FMU does pick up 1 run, but they strand 3 base runners after 3 full innings. Francis Marion 2, Converse 2. This is the Patriots Sports Network. Gomez will lead off the top of the fourth for the Valkyries. Right fielder is hit by a pitch, and her first plate appearance today. Did not play in game number one. Taylor Flory remains in the circle for FMU. Count quickly 0-2 in favor of the Patriot right-hander. Ground ball back to Flory. She fields, throws to May at first, and there's one down.
Now batting number 14, Belle Roper.
That'll bring to the plate Belle Roper, freshman second baseman from Pickens, South Carolina. Roper, a strikeout victim back in the second inning. She also did not play in the opener today. Patriots looking for the sweep, won the opener 8-5. We're tied 2-2 here in the top of the fourth inning. Grounded in front of the plate, Flory fields, throws to May at first, and Roper is retired. Nice play by the Patriot hurler. So very quickly, there are two outs, and lineup flips back to the top, and Abigail Outlaw, the center fielder. Outlaw 0 for 2 today. Was 1 for 4 in game number one. Count even at 1-1. Two and 1 from Flory. In the dirt, 3-1. Count all full now, 3-2. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Valkyries go 1-2-3. Valkyries go 1-2-3 in the top of the fourth inning. We head to the bottom of the fourth, all tied 2-2. Francis, Marion, and Converse. This is the Patriots Sports Network. Yeah, just a second.
Rachel Davis.
Rachel Davis leads off the Patriot fourth inning. Davis and Carrickson batted out of order back in the second inning, so we're trying to make sure we got them straight here, but they are in the correct position this time. No harm to the Patriots as neither player reached. That's going to be a base hit down the left field line, and Davis will reach on the single. Took a bad hop, didn't come up to the third baseman and went over the bag.
Now batting number 17, Danielle Carrickson.
So the bad hop single, and the Patriots have their leadoff batter on here in the fourth. And Carrickson will bat. What I was saying is it didn't hurt the Patriots as neither batter got on base and allowed the Converse coach to appeal anything. Carrickson successful on the sacrifice bunt here, with Davis moving into scoring position with the go-ahead run.
Now batting number 2, Hannah Schmidt.
Hannah Schmidt will stand in for the Patriots. Schmidt reached on an air and scored earlier. She grounds to McKinney at third, who throws to Plafkin, and Schmidt is retired on one pitch. So now there are 2 outs, and Davis still in scoring position at second base. For the top of the order as Ashton Patterson stands in.
Now batting number 15, Ashton Patterson.
Patterson 1 for 2. Single back in the third inning. Count now 2-0 to the Patriot leadoff batter. Patriots 2 runs on 5 hits and no errors. Converse 2 runs on 3 hits with 1 error. Count now 3-0. Katie Smith is in the on deck circle and would bat if Patterson extends the inning. And she does with the 4-pitch walk.
Stepping to the plate, number 14.
So that will bring to the plate arguably the hottest Patriot hitter. Smith 6 for 10 this season. She's 2 for 2 here in game number 2, batting an even .600. Ground ball foul, wide of third base. Count now even at 1-1. So Rachel Davis, the runner at second. Ashton Patterson, the runner at first. Katie Smith, the freshman outfielder from Greenwood, South Carolina, at the plate. Fisted to shortstop, hits the runner Davis, and then he gets up and catches part of the shortstop McElrath. So Davis will be out on the play, and that'll end the inning for the Patriots as they attend to McElrath, the shortstop. That's it for the fourth inning. We head to the top of the fifth. Francis Marion 2, Converse 2. This is the Patriots Sports Network. So Ellie Stout, left fielder, will lead off the fifth inning for Converse. Stout 1 for 2 here in game number 2. Ground out and a single. Stout was 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored in game number 1. The 2-0 from Flory. Outside ball 3. Flory now up to 76 pitches, 41 of which have found the strike zone or been put into play. Outside corner called strike 1. Fouled into the screen. Count now full as Flory battles back. Again fouled off down near the Valkyries bullpen. ball 4, so Stout draws a leadoff walk. Never a good thing. Here to lead off the 5th inning.
Now batting number 15, Allison Plotkin.
Patriot golfers finished 6th today at the Rains Company Intercollegiate Tournament that Francis Marion hosted out the Country Club of South Carolina. Middle Tennessee State was the victorious squad. Mitchell Vance was the top Patriot finisher. He finished tied for 2nd. After firing a 73, a 1 over 73, he had fired a couple rounds of 69 on Saturday, 73 today to finish at 211, tied for 7th place. Allison Plefkin at the plate for the Valkyries, count 1-1. Plefkin 1 for 1, a walk, a single, and a run scored. Ellie Stout, the runner at first for Converse. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Snap throw to first, but Stout is back. In the Patriots looking for the sweep, Francis Marion came from behind to win game 1 today, 8-5, scoring 6 unanswered runs after trailing 5-2. Ground ball hard at Smallwood at 3rd. Bad throw to 2nd. It's going to allow Stout to reach 2nd and advance on to 3rd. So fielder's choice for Plafkin. And Stout advances on the air by the 3rd baseman, Smallwood.
Now batting number 8, Brooklyn McElrath.
Runners on the corners now with nobody out. McElrath, the shortstop, seems to have recovered from being hit by that ball in the bottom of the 4th inning as she stands in. McElrath 0 for 2, strikeout and reached on the fielder's choice. Eventually came around to score a run. Swung on a foul at the plate. The count now 1-2. Fouled off. Swung on a miss, strike 3. There's 1 down. Runners remain on the corners.
Now batting number 10, Grace McKinney.
So Grace McKinney, the 3rd baseman, will now stand in. McKinney 0 for 1, a walk and a ground out. Flory trying to escape trouble here in the fifth. Scores tied 2-2. Runners on the corners and one out. Stout with the seemingly always damaging leadoff walk stands on third. Plefkin reached on the fielder's choice, is at first base. Looks to bunt. It's kind of a squeeze play, unsuccessful, but the snap throw down to third is just a tad late as Stout went diving back in. Head coach Stacy Valley out to talk with base umpire Kenny McKnight as to whether he maybe could get some help on the play at third base from Greg Craps. And Stout remains safe at third. But the count's now 1-2. And strikeout would be big here to strand those runners. On the play, though, Plafkin does go down to second, so we'll credit her with a stolen base. One-two from Flory. Outside 2-2, so a couple of runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs here for the Valkyrie third baseman, Grace McKinney. Swung on a miss, strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts for Flory. Give her a chance of getting out of trouble here in the top of the fifth. Maria Luce, the freshman DP, stands in next. She's 1 for 2. Had a 2-run single the last time back in the third inning. Here she bats with 2 outs and runners on second and third. Patriot defense remains as it has all afternoon. Smith in left, Carrickson in center, Schmidt in right, Smallwood at third, Matzel at short, Patterson at second, May at first, and Harkins behind the plate. Count now 2-1. This will be pitch number 99 of the afternoon for Flory, 55 of which have found the strike zone or been put into play. Misses to go 3-1. And that misses for ball 4, so Luce draws the 2-out walk that now loads the bases. And that'll bring Stacy Valley out to talk with her pitcher in the circle. One interesting note on the play that ended the bottom of the 4th inning when Katie Smith grounded to shortstop. The ball hit the runner before it got to the shortstop. On that particular play, you credit Smith with a base hit. So Katie Smith now 3 for 3 in this game, but of course the runner is out after being struck by the ball, and that ended the inning. So Julianne Outlaw will stand in now with the bases loaded, 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. The younger of the Outlaws is 0 for 1, a walk and a ground out here in game number 2. Again, the Valkyries, members of the Conference Carolinas, the home of Patriot Athletics beginning this fall, as Francis Marion will move from the Peach Belt Conference to Conference Carolinas. Big swing and a miss for Outlaw. This is the final year of competition for FMU in the Peach Belt Conference. The Patriots, a charter member of the Peach Belt in the early 1990s, made the decision to make the switch, and we're looking forward to our new home. Deuces wild now, 2 outs, 2-2 count to the Valkyries catcher. Bases are loaded here in the top of the 5th. Swing and a miss, strikeout. So Flory strikes out the side amid 2 walks and a fielder's choice and a throwing error. The Valkyries strand 3. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Francis Marion 2, Converse 2. This is the Patriots Sports Network.
Leading off the bottom of the 5th for your Patriots is number 7, Sarah Harkins.
Defensive change for Converse as they go back out for the bottom of the 5th is the shortstop, McElrath, has left the game. Maybe something happened, obviously, with the ball that came up and hit her in the infield on the batted ball, although she did bat this last time. Julianne Outlaw will move from home plate to shortstop, and then taking McElrath's place in the order is Dallas Singleton, and she'll move behind the plate to catch. She was the catcher in game number 1 today. Sarah Harkins leads off the Patriot 5th inning. Harkins 1 for 1, double, and a bases loaded walk. Patriots sending up 3, 4, and 5, the meat of the order. Harkins, Smallwood, and May. Let up, foul back into the screen. And Harkins is quickly down in the count, 0-2. And the Patriots back in action next Saturday against Lenore Ryan here at the FMU Softball Stadium. 2 o'clock start for the doubleheader. As of right now, no live stats or no video for that game. If anything changes this week, we'll make sure that we post it on the website. So please check the website for those items. Ground ball to third. McKinney across to Plafkin, and Harkins is retired.
Now batting number 20, Florence, Smallwood.
Smallwood, next Patriot hitter, third baseman, 0-for-2. Does have an RBI ground out here in game number 2. Leads the Patriots in RBIs this season. Lines that one into the Patriot bullpen. Valkyries outfielders Stout in left and Outlaw in center, showing Smallwood respect, playing back near the warning track. Let up is in there for called strike 2. Reagan Owens, who started the game a little bit shaky, has recovered and pitched well now, allowing only 6 hits, 2 runs, and only one of those runs was earned. She's now up to 59 pitches, 34 of which have found the strike zone or been put into play. Lined in the left field base hit. That one's hit hard. Smallwood rounds first, but she'll be forced to hold there. So a line drive single down the left field line for Smallwood. Patriots have a base runner with 1 out. Addie May will stand in, but looks like Stacy Valley's going to go to her bench for a pinch runner. Chase Booker will be that runner.
Pinch running for the Patriots, number 4, Chase Booker.
Booker entered game number 1 as a pinch runner as well. So this is her second appearance of the day. Addie May, 0-for-2. Line out and reached on a fielder's choice. May now batting .273 on the young season. That's a line shot to left field. Another hard hit ball gets in for a single. Patriots have runners at first and second with 1 out. So Booker, the pinch runner, now at second. See if Stacy Valley goes to her bench for another pinch runner here. Looks like she's going to do that as Megan Matzo will be the batter. Amaya Bush will make her first appearance of the season, the freshman from Fort Mill, South Carolina. Nations Ford High School.
Patriots, number 6, Amaya Hush. Now batting number 3, Megan Matzel.
So speed on the base pass in the form of pinch runners Bush and Booker. Hush and Booker, excuse me. And Megan Mansell is the batter. Mansell 0 for 2. Couple of ground outs. Patriots looking to break through here. Snap a 2-2 deadlock with the Valkyries of Converse College. Bottom of the 5th inning, 1 out. High ball 2. Hit in the air down the left field line, but foul. Actually cleared the fence, but in foul territory down the left field line. So Mansell showing some pop in her bat. She did not have only had one extra base hit, that a double last year. Again pulls that one foul down near the batting cage. Two-two count. Owens pitch to Mansell. Grounded foul. This will be pitch number 7 of this at-bat. Takes high, ball 3, full count. Booker the runner at second, Hush the runner at first. Full count pitch from Owens to Mansell. Grounded foul just outside the third base bag. And this will be pitch number 9 of this battle between Owens and Mansell. Hit in the air to left center field. That one is deep. It is gone. Home run, Megan Mansell. 3-1, 3-run bomb, and your Patriots lead 5-2. Who would have thunk it? The shortstop who had one extra base hit in 27 games last season, that being a double, goes yard with a 3-run shot, and your Patriots lead 5-2.
Now batting number 11, Rachel Davis.
Davis continues the hit parade with a single back up the middle. Davis now with hits in her last 2 at-bats. Jen George is making a pitching change.
Now pitching for the Valkyries, number 25, Marion.
So the designated player, Maria Luce, now moves to the pitching mound in relief of Owens. Owens' line score, she threw 4 1/3 innings, allowed 10 hits, 5 runs to this point. 4 of those 5 runs were earned, 2 walks, no strikeouts. Okay, for Francis Marion. So the Patriots will employ a pinch hitter here. As Sarah Hilton will make her first appearance of the 2021 season. Pinch hitting for Danielle Carrickson. Sarah Hilton, a 5'5" junior from Thomasville, North Carolina, and Ledford High School. Yeah, now 1-1. Rachel Davis, the runner at first, as her single chased the Valkyries starter. Hilton lines that one foul. She is a transfer from Lewisburg College up in North Carolina. Two-two count on the Patriot junior. Grounded hard to the third baseman. McKinney with the nice stop, throws to second for the force. Hilton hit it hard, but right at the third baseman. She'll be at first on the fielder's choice. We'll bring up the right fielder. And Carrickson will re-enter the game for Hilton at first base. So while not a base hit, a successful first at bat for Sarah Hilton as a Patriot. Hit the ball very hard. Hannah Schmidt stands in now with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Schmidt 0 for 2, reached on a fielding error and scored a run back in the third inning, grounded out in the fourth. Popped in the air, foul out of play, first base side. Schmidt had a hit, a run scored, and an RBI in the opener today. That hit was her second triple of the season. And she's played some good defensive ball out in left field, or excuse me, right field. Carrickson slides in safely to second with the stolen base. Carrickson with her first stolen base of the season. Count to Schmidt now 2-2 with another Patriot in scoring position in the form of Danielle Carrickson at second base with 2 outs. Deuce is really wild now. It's batter number 2 at the plate. 2-2 count with 2 outs. Hit in the air to left field, pretty well hit. Stout back to the track, to the wall. That is all gone. Home run, Hannah Schmidt. A 2-run blast, and the Patriots now lead 7-2. So a 3-run homer by Matzel and a 2-run shot by Schmidt. The Patriots have plated 5 here in the bottom of the 5th and lead 7-2.
Now batting for the Patriots, number 15, Ashton Patterson.
That flips the lineup back to the top for Ashton Patterson. Patterson 1 for 2, a single and a walk. Her season average now at .273. So the bottom of the order picking the Patriots up here late in this game. Home runs from the number 6 and number 9 spots in the order. Again, hammered foul past FMU head coach Stacy Valley. Count remains 1-2. Patriots now up to 11 hits here in game number 2. They tallied 10 hits in opener today. That one is fisted wide of third. McKinney with the nice stop, but throw is not in time, so an infield single for Patterson. bring to the plate Katie Smith. Smith working on a perfect afternoon. 3 for 3, a run scored. Her season average now up to 636. Sarah Harkins, the hard-hitting catcher, would be next if Smith can extend the inning further. Patriots have already plated 5 runs. Jen George will take a stroll to the pitching circle to talk with her battery, Singleton and Luce. And are they making a change? Nope, just a confab. So Patterson will return to first base, where she's the runner, and Smith to the plate. Loose with the pitch, high, Patterson running, and she's into second with the stolen base. So the Patriots have another runner in scoring position. Let up in there for a called strike. Fouled off over by the baseball field. Count now even at 2-2 as Patterson will be forced to return to third or second. So Patterson, the runner at second. Smith, the batter. Luce, the pitcher. Singleton, the catcher. Grounded foul. Grounded to third, through the wickets. Down the left field line, 1 run will score. Smith digging for second, is in there safely. So that'll be scored in E5 on that one. No RBI for Katie, but the Patriots do score a run, and they're now up 8-2. So Sarah Harkins stands at the plate, actually in the form of the game-winning run. If she were to get on base and score, that would create the 8-run rule, and the Patriots would be victorious. This one hit on the line to center field, but Abigail Outlaw is there to make the catch. So, of course, the announcer jinxes that very quickly. We finished 5 innings. Patriots lead 8-2. This is the Patriot Sports Network. Mariah Gomez leads off the top of the 6th for the Valkyries. Quickly behind 0-2 in the count after a couple of foul balls. Gomez 0 for 1. Hit by a pitch and a ground out. Taylor Flory continues in the circle for the Patriots. Now looking to hopefully pick up win number 1 for her in an FMU uniform, even a record at 1-1. And she holds a 6-run advantage here in the 6th inning. Again, another hard foul ball into the crowd. Nice play by a spectator to protect himself. Count now run full to the Valkyrie right fielder. Excuse me. Yes, right fielder. And it's a base hit to left field for Gomez.
Now batting number 14, Bell Roper.
That'll bring Bell Roper, second baseman, to the plate. Roper 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. While I've got a chance, give a shout out to the Converse equestrian team. My niece, Chapel Hedrick, a member of the equestrian team at Converse College. So Flory quickly ahead of Roper, now 0-2. Again, fouled off. Swung on a miss, strikeout. Out number 1 here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting number 7, Abigail Outlaw.
Abigail Outlaw, the leadoff batter, now comes to the plate. Outlaw 0 for 3 in game number 2. Again, both the Outlaws in the lineup here in game number 2. One playing center field, one playing shortstop. Harkins with the snap throw to first. Gomez just got back. Again, 2-1 on Outlaw. Throw was high down the first base. The pickoff throw from Harkins was high, but Gomez diving back did not have a chance to get up and advance. So no harm. Count now an Outlaw full, 3-2. Grounded at the plate, foul. Flory now up to 123 pitches. Patriot starter Rachel Davis threw 132 pitches in her complete game effort in game number 1. That's high for ball 4, so the Valkyries have 2 runners on now with 1 out. Ellie Stout, the left fielder, will stand in. Stout 1 for 2, a single and a walk. And she was 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI in the first game today. Stout from Hendersonville, North Carolina, freshman. Grounded to May at first. Makes the play the easy one to retire the batter. Both the other runners advance up a base. But now they're 2 outs.
Now batting number 15,
Allison Plafkin steps in. Plafkin 1 for 2, a walk, single, a run scored. She hit the ball hard 4 times in the opener today. Had 3 hits to show from it, plus an RBI and a run scored. In the dirt, nice stop by Harkins. Both runners have to hold. High, nice stop by Harkins again. Runners have to hold. That ball was rising and rising, and Harkins was able to get a glove on it. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Runners on second and third for the Valkyries. Again high, ball 3. Line shot. Matzel with a nice stab. The long throw from her knees in time. Nice play, Megan Matzel. Out number 3, the Patriots escape, and the Valkyries strand 2 runners. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Francis Marion 8, Converse 2. This is the Patriots Sports Network. Lauren Smallwood leaves off the Patriots' sixth. Smallwood, 1 for 3, single, run scored, and an RBI. Hit the ball extremely hard last time. A line shot down the left field line, hit it so hard the left fielder was able to hold it to a single. Again, hit on a line to left field. Stout over. Unable to make the catch. It's a fair ball, though. Smallwood rounds first. Heads into second. She'll have a stand-up double. Stout with a nice diving effort on the left field line. The ball tipped off her glove in fair territory. Rolled over into the corner, and Smallwood ends up on second base.
Now batting number 30, Addie May.
Addie May stands in. May, 1 for 3, a single and a run scored. And the Patriots need 2 runs to end this thing. Ball's in the dirt, and Smallwood will take third on the wild pitch. Those of you who might be thinking as we approach 6:15 about changing to a different sporting event, don't do it yet. Let's see if the Patriots can get 2 runs here and end this thing in the 6th inning. I know there's some other options out there, but hang with us, or at least keep us up on the computer. Ground ball foul. Just missed Smallwood at foul territory, third base. Outfield deep and left and center for the Patriot first baseman. Luce will get the sign from Singleton. Pitch, hits her. And so May will take first base on the hit by pitch. And that will bring up Megan Matzel. She of the 3-run bomb her last at-bat, and also of the sparkling defensive play of the game when she snagged the hard liner with 2 on in the top of this inning and threw from her knees a deep short to record the 3rd out at first base. Runners on the corners, no outs here in the bottom of the 6th. Patriots leading 8-2. Needing 2 runs to end the game via the 8-run mercy rule. If they're not able to do that, we'll head to the top of the 7th, and Converse will have one more shot. Ground ball through the left side into left field for a base hit. Smallwood will score. May stops at second, and Matzel has her 4th RBI of the contest. And the Patriots now lead 9-2.
Now batting number 11, Rachel Davis.
So Rachel Davis will now bat. Converse coach will make a change. So a new Valkyrie pitcher as Savannah Rogers will return to the circle.
Now pitching for the Valkyries, number 6, Savannah Rogers.
Rogers pitched in game number 1 today. She will face Rachel Davis as the game-winning run stands on second base with the Patriots leading 9-2. Stay with us, folks. They haven't kicked off yet, okay? Patriots hoping for a game-winning walk-off hit. So Davis stands in. Davis 2 for 3, couple of singles. One pitch from Rogers to Davis. Nice stop by Singleton behind the plate. May, the runner at second, is forced to hold. Matzel, the runner at first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Patriots leading 9-2. They've out-hit the Valkyries 13-4 here in game number 2. Fouled back over the press box. Count now 2-2. High, ball 3. Danielle Kerrickson, center fielder, is in the on-deck circle for the Patriots. Hit in the air to right field. Gomez coming in, settles under it, makes the catch. May fakes a tag, but is forced to hold at second. So now 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. That'll bring up Danielle Kerrickson.
Stepping to the plate, number 17, Danielle Kerrickson.
Kerrickson 0 for 2 with the sacrifice bunt. Lined in the left field, hit hard, bobbled by the left fielder, but May will only be able to advance the 1 base. The ball gets away, and May will score the game-winning run. So base hit by Carrickson, no RBI, and the run scores on the Valkyries air, and the Patriots win 10-2 here in game number 2. Give me just a second and we'll wrap this up.
Game 2, FMU 10, Converse 2. Just a reminder, Patriots softball will host Ryan University on Saturday. Game 1 of the doubleheader will start at 2 p.m.
So the final score of game number 2, Francis Marion 10, Converse 2. Taylor Flory picks up her first win as a Patriot, evening her pitching record at 1-1. Reagan Owens, the Converse starter, is the loser. She falls to 0-2. Francis Marion improves to 3-1 on the season. The Valkyries now 1-3. Francis Marion will host Ryan University on Saturday at 2 o'clock here at the FMU softball stadium. That's first pitch for the doubleheader. As of this time, no live stats or no video for that game. If anything changes, check the Francis Marion website. Converse will be back in action on Wednesday afternoon, February 17th, when the Valkyries will host Columbia International University for a doubleheader there in Spartanburg. First pitch of game number 1 is 4 o'clock. We thank you for your time and spending the afternoon watching Patriots softball. We hope you have a nice evening. Enjoy the big game. And